what ideally need to happen in a shared space and what actually happens in a shared space, which is with couples, with the husband and wife, is both are coming with the same objective that we want to repair, we want to work on our relationship, and we want to improve our lives, which is great. So it looks pretty simple from the outside because wow, they're coming with a shared goal. Because without a shared goal, there is no point coming into a combined space either. You do your individual sessions and figure out what choices you want to make independently. But when you are in a shared space and both of you are saying that your intention is repair, then we need to know that it starts with us understanding the other person's needs. So the wife need to understand what is happening to the husband and the husband needs to understand what is happening to the wife. Correct? This shared understanding is the objective. And once we understand each other's perspective, once we understand each other's feelings and hold space for it, once we understand each other's needs and their clear request, both will have to work towards finding, so how do we go forward? And this needs to be done with one specific event at a time until they learn to do it, use the same framework with all other conflicts. So ideally, what we are afraid of or we need to fear is not the conflict. It is about how does the resolution happen or how does the repair happen. Many a time, couples think that saying sorry to each other is repair. No, apologies alone does not repair. It's as good as saying, because if the behavior is repeating, then what is the point of an apology? Correct. So we need to see what is happening. There is some pattern which is recurring, and this pattern is there in both the wife in how she speaks, and there is a pattern in the husband too on how he speaks. Correct. So, and there is a pattern in the dynamic. Now, our job is to gently mirror these patterns so that both people can understand, this is what is happening in the relationship and this is what I need to do. Now, though they're coming into a shared space, the objective is how do I work on myself? It is still individual work itself, alongside holding space to understand what is happening to them, and then we fine tune. So, how do we do our work? So, technically, the work is ours itself. However, most people come to the shared space thinking that the other person has to do the work. So it is the husband coming and saying she is doing this, which is why I am not able to do this, or the wife will say he is doing that, which is why I am like this. So it becomes a complete blame shame narrative from both ends, and then they say they want to repair also. Now this is a contradictory thing to do if the objective is repair. So which is why we usually use a framework, and the one that I use is, again, it is called ARCH, which means before we even enter into the shared space, we need to figure out A, are you both aware of what am I thinking, what am I feeling? There needs to be clear awareness of in this event, when this happened, or when you said this, or when I saw this, or when I read this or whatever, when this happened, what did I think and what did I feel? That awareness needs to be very clear for individual partners first. Then the R is of the arts is regulation. We are not sitting in the shared space and showing our emotion. We need to be able to regulate ourselves and speak that hey, this is how I felt. This is a communication process. But if one of the two partners or both are dysregulating and they are reliving that entire conflict, then we are re-traumatizing ourselves. So the thing is, the session will need to pause until both are regulated. So it will not move forward because awareness is great, but if you're not able to regulate while you are communicating, which is the C. C is being able to communicate with clarity that this is my perspective, this is what I actually needed, but this is what you said or did, and next time I wish this is what you will do. There is a clear request also, this needs to come. But if this is not communicated clearly and there is dysregulation, and the R itself is skipped, then what happens? The communication is not clear. What happens is we go to the past, we go to another event altogether, gets looked into it, or it goes to an anticipatory future event, and the communication flips, and then what do you truly need doesn't get come across at all. And this unfortunately most often happens with the women, and like I said in the first short video, it is very, very sad for me to see this because I totally understand why she has reached where she has reached, because she was in boundary, she was over functioning, she took on more responsibilities than that was hers to carry. She kept repeating instructions again and again and did not know how to work on her capacity or how to communicate her needs, because from her perspective, Arey, I'm saying this, but he's not listening, so then what will I do? That is the work. So if your partner or your husband is not doing what he committed to do and you are repeating the same things again and again, the pattern is there in both. One is your own pattern of going on repeating the same thing. Why would you repeat it? So what else can you do is your individual work. And then we will shift to the partner and ask, how come? How come that you are needing so many reminders? What is happening? How can you remember better? But this needs to happen with one event at a time. We will close the loop, resolve it, repair it, and then move on, which doesn't mean that it will never happen again. Just because we hold one loop in a session means that, okay, problem solved, that's it, he's going to forever remember. And that, and usually the man's issue is, my God, the way she screams and shouts, she's so unpredictable. I do not know when she's going to get angry. I do not know when one issue will get resolved. I do not know when the next is going to start, because nothing gets resolved here. These are the common things which I hear from the men. And what I hear from the women is, what is the point of saying? I have said this 200 times and it is the same thing again and again. So I am now fed up. So this is an individual work. So the man needs to understand what is leading to the frustration and exhaustion in the woman, and also alongside voicing that, hey, I am not okay with this kind of strong shame and blame language. The woman needs to understand that this shaming and blaming language is not going to lead to any repair for sure. And she needs to learn how to self-regulate and also learn boundaries. Boundaries means this is my capacity and this is all I will do. Now, this will really depend on the context. It will change according to different context. Now, there are multiple issues that can happen. Say things like, I asked you to buy the grocery and you forgot. I asked again next day and again you forgot. So what do I then do? Now this is an agreement. We need to come where we need to able to be shift the responsibility to the other person. And that is when we take one goal at a time and see what happens there. So then the woman says, oh my God, for everything we have to come like this. No, you don't need to. But we need to learn how to hold the framework. And that framework is, be aware of what you are thinking and feeling. Regulate your emotions, communicate with absolute clarity what do you need, and most important, if that need is not met, what can I do differently? That is the biggest part which goes missing. And similarly, when the husband is apologizing and saying, oh, I'm so sorry, I again forgot, or I did that again, or whatever it might be, a sorry doesn't solve anything. Changed behavior is what is expected. So, shifting responsibility and accountability to the other person does not mean shifting blame and shame to the other. That will not hold in a shared space and that will not lead to repair at all. So for the women, it will be learning to communicate effectively, because most often what happens is both these husband and wife, when they were children, have been raised by mothers who were also probably over functioning, who also carried the invisible load. But how girls are raised and how boys are raised are very, very different. Girls are mostly raised in restriction and protection, and boys are raised with freedom and autonomy. And when these two completely diverse nervous systems and completely different childhood histories. Also depends on what sort of marriage did they see in their childhood. All that dynamic play over here. So just because two people are sitting here, we need to respect that both the partners carry history. So by using blame shame languages or using diagnostic labels on either is not going to repair anything. So if the objective is repair, both the partners need to know that the work is still individual. The work is still only when I am aware of my emotions, I am able to voice it with clarity and hold it. Only then can I hold space for the other persons also. With men, they are rarely able to say with clarity what are they thinking and feeling. Feeling rarely, they rarely talk about how they are feeling. And unfortunately, it is in the session that they finally open up about their feelings. And at that time, the woman has absolutely no capacity to hold space for his feelings because she's already entered the session with complete depletion and exhaustion. So what happens is in couple sessions when two people are coming with absolute exhaustion, ideally it's best to do the individual work. And should it be with the same professional, ideally not. Do the individual work separately. Decide how to do the combined work and make sure you have your notes. Come prepared. Take these goals seriously because there is a lot of time and energy everybody is investing in this, right? So coming back to shared space only to be heard and seen and vent is not repair work. So sometimes the objective gets clashing, and this is a repeated pattern that I get to see in shared spaces with both men and women. So I hope, dear women, we will learn not to overfunction like this. And after overfunctioning, and then you're saying, oh my God, you're not reciprocating the same overfunction, it might not work. So we will need to learn how to do less, how to probably speak less, and most importantly, how to self-regulate our emotions because our partner might not be always be able to be our co-regulating person, especially if you're speaking with intense blame shame language. That will not work. So I hope every single one of us can do our individual work, and it will be a big help, and it is a necessity so that your children are seeing a healthy marriage and your children are seeing a father and a mother who know how to self-reflect and work on themselves and be responsible adults and parents. Thank you.